Look at all these people. Look at all these people looking at me like I'm the bad guy. You want me to be the bad guy? You want me to be the bad guy? Hey, want to pass the sweet potatoes, huh? Pass the sweet potatoes to me. Scarface, released in 1983, and is directed by Brian De Palma, who's also behind such films like Carrie, Dressed to Kill, The Untouchables, and Mission Impossible. And of course, this movie is starring the one and only Al Pacino with Tony Montana. He's come from rags, he goes to riches, and then he gets shot in the head after he says, "Hey, hello to my little friend here!" Tony Montana is a Cuban refugee who makes his way into getting a green card and citizenship with the United States after doing some shady things and committing a murder. Well, after several years of breaking his back at low-paying jobs, he manages to become a go-to person for a local drug dealer, and he starts rolling in the dough. But Tony Montana's paranoia is ever-growing, and soon looks to take over this drug operation and becomes one of the drug kingpins of Miami. But of course, and I think everyone out there knows the famous line and probably the famous scene at the end of this film, we have Tony Montana, who has climbed all the way to the top of the mountain. He owns everything, he has all of this money, but everything starts falling down around him. People start being shot, and he starts shooting people, friends and loved ones, and then the drug partners that he's with, he backstabs them, and they come after him, and then he says the famous line, "Say hello to my little friend," after snorting a mountain of cocaine, just like that Lonely Island song. This is the tale of Tony Montana, so tons of pussy just waiting to get fed. Yeah, I think that was beautiful. I'm sticking by that. This film really has established itself in pop culture. The poster for this film is an iconic poster. The black and white and how it contrasts the silhouette of Tony Montana is beautiful. It is wonderful, and you see so many, I guess, tough guys wearing that shirt or some logo like that of Scarface. I think this character became a symbol for, like, the tough guy, someone who's not being wrong. Like, you don't backstab me, you don't talk bad about me, I'm the boss, I'm the guy around here. You don't double-cross me or else I'll show you, my little friend. I don't know, I never wore one of those t-shirts, so I guess I'm not a bad boy like Tony Montana. But Tony is a symbol for, I guess, in a way, masculinity. If I want to get more specific, it's toxic masculinity and just the terrible side of manhood and the society's idea of what being a man is all about. Of course, I think he is a great representation of anyone who wants to become an immigrant and make their way over to the United States to refresh and reestablish themselves and go after that so-called American dream. I think he's a great poster child for that. Even though, you know, he's not, with everything that's being talked about in the political race right now, probably not the best example when talking about immigration and people coming across the border. But hey, if you go back all the way to when the white people came over to this land and shoved all the Native Americans out from their property and out from their land, I mean, it's the exact same thing. Just back then, it was white people doing it. So in a way, you could look at this film like a wonderful coming-of-age story that ends in tragedy. Tony Montana comes to this country with nothing. He has absolutely nothing. He is sleeping in a refugee camp. His first job, he is a dishwasher. He's a busser for a restaurant. His hands are all bloodied and soaked with soap water at the end of the day. And then he manages to make his way to the top of this drug mountain. And he has billions of dollars that he doesn't know what to do with. And Al Pacino is tremendous here. No one can match him with this character. This is a perfect example of watching a film and watching an acting performance when you look at how this character is presented and you look at the actor who is acting as this character and you just say to yourself, no one else could be playing that role other than this person at this point in time. You don't see those roles too often in films, but this is definitely one of those cases. Al Pacino, again, this is, if not the best, definitely top 2, top 3 characters that he has ever played, and probably top 2 or Maybe top 5. Let's add it to that. Top 5 characters of all time when it comes to the history of cinema. This is a 3-hour film, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours. The pacing here is great, and how the story unfolds. The montage that we get in the middle once he takes over the kingdom, and he starts just rolling in all of the dough, all of the bags that they're taking into the bank, and the head of the bank is like, I don't know what to do with all of this. I want to take it for you, because I want this money, but there's just too much of it that it's impossible to hide this from the IRS or anyone who's going to be coming knocking and asking questions. Like, I want to help you, I just can't. Michelle Pfeiffer, who plays Elvira, who is the wife of the former drug king, and then becomes Tony's wife after he dies. She's basically there to be eye candy. She is a drug addict, and she doesn't really know what to do with her life. She has some great moments in here with Al Pacino as well. Both of them just read off of each other great, especially in that dinner scene when Tony just loses it and just looks around at people like, oh, you want a bad guy? I'll be the bad guy. And I forget that Maid Marian from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is the sister of Tony Montana. That's all I'll ever know her as. She's always just the Maid Marian from Robin Hood. One of my earliest memories of movie watching, and whenever I see her on screen, that's immediately what I think. I don't really know your name, and honestly, I don't care to know it because you'll always just be Maid Marian to me. I forget that she's here, and I think she's great as well. Scarface is a beautiful tragedy. It's a film that I don't like going back and revisiting on a whim. It's definitely something that I have to build my mentality up for, and I have to get ready to watch it. But once I do, this is definitely a masterpiece of a film. This film is excellent. Again, it's directed well. The pacing here is great. But it's really on the shoulders of Al Pacino. Al Pacino makes this movie. He is in this movie probably like 95 to 98% on screen. He is always there. This is his story. This is his performance. This is his show. This film is a masterpiece if you can build yourself up to watch it. I'm going to give Scarface 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Scarface, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you all the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel. But in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.